Hi everyone, thank you so much for checking out my video. My name is Gavin and today I wanted to talk about all of the book series that I wanted to start and finish this year, if possible. Might not be feasible. I really want to give this a really good go this year. I've been really slumming it with my reading for the past few years. Last year I only read 22 books in total. It is absolutely pitiful. But after a very rough few years reading, I wanted to get back into it this year. At the start of the year, I made a list of all of the book series that I wanted to read this year, and 99% of these book series I've never read before. I really feel like I've missed out on a lot of series the past few years that a lot of people have been talking about on BookTube, which I'm still trying to get myself caught up on. So I'll begin with all the book series that I've already read as of recording this video, and then I will move on to the ones that I am now planning to read now that we are in May, and hopefully we'll start and finish by the end of the year. So yeah. The first series I actually really wanted to reread because I hadn't reread it in like 10 or so years. So that was the Harry Potter series by J.K. Rowling. This is such a cute photo. These are really heavy, by the way. And so before the new year, I actually started reading the first 3 Harry Potters because I had them in the illustrated editions and I hadn't read them as illustrated editions yet. These were absolutely gorgeous, like amazing. Jim Kay did a fantastic job illustrating the Harry Potter world, and I cannot wait for the rest of them. But yeah, I read and completed these before the new year, so technically these 3 don't really count. Yeah, I'm putting these down now, they're so heavy. Oh, I started off with these 3 before the new year, and then after the new year I managed to read Goblet of Fire, Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, and Deathly Hallows. Now it was so incredibly wonderful because I hadn't reread them in such a long time that as I was reading through these books I was discovering so many new things that I had forgotten about, especially with the last 4 books because they were so big. It's so easy to forget what happens in a lot of these ones, and plus, I mean, I have the original covers, but I really do enjoy these covers as well. Like, I had to buy them, they're so beautiful. I love Harry Potter so much. So that I really wanted to kick off my series reads with the ultimate series that I have ever read in my entire life, which is Harry Potter. I'm a walking BookTube cliche. It took me 26 days to read all 7 Harry Potter books, and this was over the Christmas and New Year period, and so I was working a lot, so I probably would have read them a bit faster had I not been working so much, but I was just really happy to get the chance to relive my childhood. And yeah, not really much to say about that one really. Another series that I wanted to read for the first time, mainly because a film came out in 2018 that I absolutely loved, and that is the Louis Barneveld series, aka The House with a Clock in Its Walls. The publishers are re-releasing all of the books with these gorgeous, you know, covers, but I had never actually read them before. I'd never even heard of them before the movie, and I absolutely bloody love the movie. Cate Blanchett, man, I mean, amazing. Goddess among men. I've read the first 2, I've yet to read the 3rd one yet. I think the 4th and 5th ones are coming out in July, and more after that. I'm sure there are 12 in the series, but I think only 6 of them were actually written by the original author John Bellairs, and the rest were written, I think, after his death by Brad Strickland. I am really looking forward to the nice easy read. Fly through these very easily. I will read this one at some point. I'll try and fit it into a TBR. I've now decided as well to just hold up one book out of that series because I am not as fit as I look. I can't hold that many books at once, especially this next series because it gets bigger. And this one is the Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I read this between January and March. Not this book alone, no, I mean the series. Maybe I should hold them all up. This isn't just random sense. This is the first book in the Lunar Chronicles, Cinder. I'm sure you've already heard of it through BookTube. It's pretty much how I discovered it. And I knew for a very long time that I needed to read these books. One of my friends has read it and he recommended me read it ASAP. So I said, fair enough, I'll do that. I read Cinder in January, February time, and I enjoyed it. It was a good little world and I really liked the writing and stuff. So I gave Scarlet and Cress, which are book 2 and 3 in the series, 3 stars each. I would have given them 4 stars, but there were moments that dragged them down to 3 for me. And then I gave Winter, the final book in the series, a 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed Winter. It was fucking huge. Like, for some reason, each book gets bigger than the last one. The main reason why I didn't want to pick up the Lunar Chronicles straight away is due to the fact that Winter is 850 pages long. Like, there is no need for a book series to go do, you know what I mean? It's just like, it was just so unnecessarily long. But by the time I read Winter, I found that it was actually such an enjoyable read, and I'm so glad I read it. And I'm so glad I managed to read and finish the Lunar Chronicles. I can check that off my list. Okay, I will hold these textbooks up because, you know, they're not that big. For a very long time now as well, I've really wanted to read The Lord of the Rings by J.R.R. Tolkien. I was very intimidated by these as well. They're not exactly that big. It's split into 3 parts. Fellowship of the Ring, Two Towers, Return of the King. It's by themselves, they're not really that intimidating, but I knew that the language would probably trip me up because it was written long before my time. And to be fair, when I read it, they were very dense. I read these over the span of 2 weeks in March, and really glad I did. The language was so super dense and kind of hard to follow sometimes. But I hail these as classics in fantasy literature, so I just knew I had to read them eventually. I began The Fellowship of the Ring on March 3rd and finished The Return of the King on March 15th, so it didn't take me all that long to complete the series. I still found myself struggling with a lot of the prose, but in the end, I gave each and every one of these 4 stars. I see it all as one complete body of work rather than a trilogy. So yeah, I gave this entire series a 4-star. I do appreciate the entire world that Tolkien has created and what he has done for fantasy literature in this day and age now. So 4-star read. As a side note, I had read The Hobbit years and years ago, so I kind of knew what to expect by Tolkien's world, but at the same time, The Hobbit is quite different to The Lord of the Rings, so kind of didn't know what I was getting myself in for. Oh, this ain't gonna be straight, but neither am I. I know. The next series that I wanted to read is the entire series of Unfortunate Events collection. I'm just gonna hold these like this. I've read, I think, the first... Let's have a look. 5? Yeah, I think I read the first 5 when I was younger. I was in the middle of reading book 5 and I got a migraine, and it was like my first experience with a migraine ever, and it put me off reading the rest of the books. Like, it wasn't the book's fault or anything, but whenever I tried to pick the book up again, I just remembered having that horrible migraine pain, and it put me off. I just felt physically sick picking up a series of Unfortunate Events book. But of course I watched a series of Unfortunate Events on Netflix and absolutely loved it. So yeah, one of my goals now for this year is to finish reading all of these. As of recording this video, I've read the first 3. Oh, I've read the first 3. So now I'm on book number 4. So I'm making goodish progress with this. These are such easy reads. Like, I finished reading the 3rd one in 1 day, and I could have done the same with all the rest, but my TBR, man, it won't allow me to do them all in a row. So I'm gonna try and, you know, fit them in every now and then. So the next one I'm reading is The Miserable Mill. But yeah, I've got them all ready and prepared for me to just plow through. I should be able to finish by the end of this year. If I don't, it's not the end of the world, but yeah, this is one that I'm sort of prioritizing. Okay, now I'm going on to the books that I haven't read just yet. I am halfway through this first book at the minute of recording this because it came up for my May TBR, and I want to join in on this readathon, and that is A Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin. I'm obsessed with the TV show. Still can't get over that Battle of Winterfell recently, but so I think May is such a fantastic time to get started with this book series. Show's almost over, time to start the books. I've had these books for years as well. I've just always been intimidated by them, and it took a lot of strength to begin the first book. It took a lot of strength and a lot of courage. It may take me a while to get through all of these, but yeah, as I said, there is also a Song of Ice and Fire readathon going on at the moment, and I want to join in on that. They are now reading A Storm of Swords, so I am very behind, but I want to catch up. I'm very behind, but I really want to catch up. So I'm going to try and read well, I'll finish Game of Thrones soon, try and read Clash of Kings this month as well, and then we'll see if I can try and get the 2, because Storm of Swords is split into 2 in the UK, so I'm going to try and get through these 2 next month. Not scary in the slightest. Ugh. Another book series that my friend recommends as well is the Dorothy Must Die series by Danielle Page. I think I read some of the first one on the Kindle years back, but I think it's about time that I really got back into it. So it's I'm sorry, I've just realised that I haven't explained any of the other series before now. That's fine, because I feel like you guys are smart enough to figure it out on your own. So, starting from this one, I'll explain what these series are and what they're about. Yeah, it's a retelling of The Wizard of Oz, and apparently it's like really twisted. Dorothy Must Die, apparently. Okay, this is why I didn't explain the other ones before, because I'm so bad at explaining books. Yeah, it follows a girl called Amy Gum. She gets whisked away to Oz, and she has the task of, I think, taking the Scarecrow's brain. Yeah, she needs to take the Scarecrow's brain, remove the Woodman's heart, or the Tin Man, as I know from the movie, and take the lion's courage, and then Dorothy must die. Now, doesn't that sound amazing? For once, the series doesn't get unnecessarily long after the first one. In fact, the longest one is the first one. The next 3 in the series are very nicely sized, so I am really glad about that. I am going to read this one in May because it came up on my Gavopoly board. To read a retelling, and I decided to pick Dorothy Must Die. I may not get around to the next 3 just yet, but I do want to try and get around to them by the end of the year. So yeah, hopefully. Now I'm being really ambitious here in saying that I also want to start the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas. Like, oh, now that is a tower. That is an actual tower. I'm trying to just use one hand here, but it's hard. I've had pretty much all of these books for a while, and because I own them all, I probably should give them a read. So I met Sarah J Maas in 2014 when she came to do a book signing for Heir of Fire, and I got Heir of Fire and Assassin's Blade personally signed. I accidentally left Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight at home, but I actually hadn't read the books yet, but I was telling Sarah J Maas how much I loved her books. I'm such a bullshitter. I haven't read them. Sorry, these keep like they're gonna fall. This is about an assassin called Selena, and she has been imprisoned, and I think her only way of escaping prison is if she becomes the prince's personal assassin and represent him in a tournament. And that's just the first book. I don't know about all the rest of them. Quite excited to read these books. There's a lot of them though, so am I being too ambitious to say that I might start and finish this series this year? Probably. I can give it a good go. And this has been quite a popular series on BookTube as well, so the fact that I haven't even... I think I read the first few chapters of Throne of Glass on the Kindle like a while back, so I will start again from the big... They're okay. So I'm going to put these books down now and say, yeah, Throne of Glass, Sarah J Maas. I'm sorry. There are 7 books and 1 prequel book, which is the Assassin's Blade, I believe. This one I got signed. And did you see what Sarah J Maas wrote about me? She wrote, "Gavin, you are awesome." You better believe it. And then in Heir of Fire, she wrote, "To Gavin, so great to meet you. Thanks for coming." Isn't she just a babe? Sorry for dropping your book, Sarah. Move back a little. No, let's move forward. Don't want people seeing my teeth. This book series I've also had for a very long time as well, and that is the Percy Jackson series by Rick Riordan. And yet again, got them all. Why not? I watched the first 2 movies and I do kind of enjoy them. But then again, I haven't read the books to compare them to, so I thought they were feel-good family films, you know, family-friendly. Love a bit of Uma Thurman as well in that first one, and Logan Lerman. Yeah. I was 18 when the first one came out, by the way. Oh my god, I'm sweating. Whew. BookTube is hard, thirsty work. And as a children's bookseller as well at Waterstones, I feel like I should read some really popular series, Percy Jackson series. But yeah, these were written ages ago as well. There's only 5 in the Percy Jackson series, I believe. Unless Rick Riordan wrote more, I don't know. But these are the 5 books from the Percy Jackson series that I want to read. Speaking of Rick Riordan, I also want to read the Heroes of Olympus series. Oh my god, I have them all. Like, so there's something about Rick Riordan that I just trust. And I just think, yeah, I'll get all of the books in the series. And it doesn't matter if I love or hate. I just want them all. And the Heroes of Olympus series, I think, is pretty much the same as the Percy Jackson series. I love anything that's sort of like a mythical retelling of, or using sort of Greek folklore. So I kind of just put all my trust in Rick Riordan to deliver a great, captivating series. So Rick Riordan, do not do me wrong. I bought all the books in the series, so I don't have his other works apart from The Red Pyramid, which is the start of another series. So if you know any more Rick Riordan series that I should read, do let me know. But yeah, I'm prioritizing Percy Jackson and Heroes of Olympus. Mainly because I already have those books and I should read them. So those were the book series that I really wanted to read this year. There are obviously going to be more. I'm keeping my arms like this because you can see Mingin's sweat patches under my armpits. I am sorry about that. I really want to read those books. I really want to at least start those book series. I don't know if I'll finish them all. I definitely want to finish A Song of Ice and Fire this year because Game of Thrones is ending and because of the readathon. For the other ones, you know, Dorothy Must Die series will be an easy one to start and finish this year because the books are so short. The one that I'm probably not going to really get cracked on with is Throne of Glass, but I do really want to read it. So we'll see how that one goes as well. Let me know if you have any goals this year as well. See if you have more series that I can add to my list. Let me know if you've read these books as well and which ones are your favourites, which ones I should maybe prioritise. Maybe there's a series I didn't mention that you think I should read and I'll let you know if I've read them or not. More likely than not, I have not read it. So I'm telling you, I have been absolutely terrible the past couple of years with reading. So I most likely haven't read the series that you want to suggest. So please let me know and I'll let you know if I've read it or not. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave me a like, comment, subscribe, and let's talk books. Thanks so much for watching my video, guys. Bye!